Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Coffee Break Tuesday. Grab a coffee, take a seat, and let's discuss a book I found. I just want to say before that, sorry about my eyes. I was weed eating around the pond yesterday, and my eyes got completely destroyed by something. But the show must go on. So anyway, I picked this old book up for $2 a while back. It was written in 1958, so while Eisenhower was president. It sat on my shelf for a good while until one day I started to peruse the first chapter, and somehow this book started to put into words what I have been thinking about for quite some time. So I want to share a few lessons with you. The book explains how identity and how we view ourselves have shifted over time. It starts out by comparing the men of 1958 to their grandfathers, who would have been born in around the 1800s. This line really stuck out to me about those type of men. The goal was achievement, not adjustment. The young were taught to work, not to socialize. Popularity was not important, but strength of character was essential. Completely opposite of today, I thought. I chuckled at this because the men of 1958 would have been the ones who were victorious in World War II, the greatest generation as we were taught. So I continued to read on. Man is still the measure of all things, but it is no longer the inner man that measures. It is the other man. Specifically, it is the plurality of men, the group, and what the group provides is shifting patterns. What it measures is conformity. The inner man no longer measures. What does that mean? Individuality lost favoritism over itself to conformity of the masses. We allow society, or the group, to judge and decide for us. We do not approve of ourselves unless someone on social media applauds or recognizes. I cannot truly enjoy my vacation until I am satisfied with the quality of the post and the quantity of the likes. The more you conform, the more you are accepted. If this group or organization says it is bad, then it must be. And we grade ourselves nowadays on the standards of the crowd instead of the standards we hold for our personal character. You see this in religious settings as well. Many people appear in church to appease the community, family, and friends, but walk out never truly giving a moment to God. Be careful what you use to measure yourself against. Measuring yourself against the world, with all its worldly flaws, can lead to a very poor calculation. I continue to read. Identity is a coherent sense of self. It depends upon the awareness that one's endeavors and one's life make sense, that they are meaningful in the context in which life is lived. It depends also upon stable values, upon the conviction that one's actions and values are harmoniously related. The older I get, the more people I talk to that have some form of depression or are on depression or anxiety medication. And I am no finger pointer in this department because I've seen firsthand how this can occur in a society such as we live in. Most of us live better than kings of the past, yet we struggle to understand our purpose. There's not a class in school called Finding Your Purpose, so we fail to learn anything about it. But if we seek, we shall find. All we must do is open the right books, or you can put your hands in the right soil, or you can discover the true meaning of faith. The values you hold yourself to go a long way in improving your self-esteem and your quality of life. Understanding yourself means understanding your limits, your abilities, and your capabilities. Does the road you are currently traveling make sense? And if not, why are you on it? Another one I read was this. Individualism means self-reliance, productive self-sufficiency, following one's chosen course despite social criticism, and bearing personally the risk of one's undertaking, and all these are on the wane. Ours is an age of reliance and experts, of specialized production, of defense to public opinion and collective security. Again, this was written in 1958. What would he think today? Individualism in the right dose is a very good thing and should be encouraged. I do not think that individualism is the end-all be-all happiness, as we are indeed social creatures. The problem I feel in regard to our current times and what this man was probably writing about in the 1950s was that self-identity was on the decline, and if left in decline, we would eventually end up in a world where we no longer question the medicines, the licenses, the laws, the authority of certain groups or actions of government, because we would assume that the experts all have our best interest at hand. We would no longer be able to decide on our own without input from a group, an organization, a political party. Surely the experts would keep us safe. We put our faith in systems, and we forget how or why the system was established in the first place. We travel down this path so long that one day we wake up and we wonder how we got into such a mess. At which point, we point fingers and we blame those around us. By doing so, we get a feeling that we are doing something just. The simple answer is you lost your sense of self to question things, to test out ideas, experiment, and honestly educate yourself. You trusted the experts, and now you refer to the experts as Big Brother, who is, like they say, always watching. Lastly, I read this. A firm sense of identity provides both a compass to determine one's course in life and a ballast to keep one steady. I have been lost in this life many times, and judging by history and understanding reality, I will humbly admit I will probably be lost again. It is in the finding that we grow the most. This life will chew you up and spit you on the curb if you are not ready to handle the roller coaster of events and emotions that it will throw at you. Nothing is worse than a timid soul who neither knows victory nor defeat, but yet still points the finger of judgment. Knowing thyself is important, and building a character that can act as a ballast will help you stand against the storm. I just released a new coffee, and on the bag of that coffee I added a quote from St. Augustine, which I really enjoy. It says, "Cicero and Plato said many wise things, but I never heard them say, 'Come unto me.'" Now you can find your identity in many places, but don't underestimate a place because of a certain reputation, a stigma, or cultural popularity. Finding your identity and discovering who you are is usually not something you can do alone. It is life's humble way of making you reach out to something bigger than yourself. And I hope you got something from this coffee break. My coffee is always linked in the description below. If you want to support the channel, please pick up a bag of coffee. I have a new dark roasted Pirie, which is now available. It's my new organic option. So if you are into those types of things, please check it out. Sip some amazing coffee, flip through the pages of some old books, and I will chat with you very, very soon. As always, thank you so much. Stay blessed.